And with that, let's go to our guest line and bring on the Hall of Famer, Jim Boeheim, brought to you every week by Oswego County Mutual. And, Coach, we were just listening back to some of your comments post-game last night. Defense in particular, you said, the defense has slipped the last couple of games. What is it about the defense and the execution on that end of the floor that you think has slipped the last couple of games?
Well, just about everything right now. We're not getting out on the shooters, and then when we get out on the shooters, we're not getting back in to rebound, or they're getting it into the high post and scoring from there. Again, Clemson was very efficient last night. They had a tremendous game. That happens. They've lost just one game at home to Miami, and they're tough there. They always have been tough there. We've had some really good teams lose there. But it's a combination. Our defense has really struggled the last two games, and offensively, we're really not getting anything except Judah and Joe. We've got to get some more offense, and Clemson's a really good defensive team, but I thought we had some opportunities where we could score and didn't, but our defense just isn't good enough right now. We're at times this year our defense has been pretty good. It's been okay. We've been kind of up in the middle, but now the last two games our defense was bad, and we just have to play better defense. It's as simple as that. Everybody is talking about changing. We're a zone team. That's what we play. And if it's not good enough, we got to get it better. Man-to-man teams, Virginia lost by 15 points at Boston College. Nobody asked Tony Bennett to play zone because that's their defense. They're a man team. And most teams shoot a little better from the three against man than they do against us. Most teams. Not every team, but most teams. So it's just about us playing better defense, and that's what we're not doing. We had a stretch of games where we played pretty well, and we were even on the boards. Now we're down 6, 8, 10 rebounds the last couple games. We have been able to rebound, and now we're not. But it's really getting onto the three-point shooters, and then also doing a little bit better job inside. We were blocking more shots early. We were more effective inside defensively, and we've just got to get better there.
Coach, you've now mentioned you got to get better blocking shots on the inside. And Jesse has struggled the past two games offensively. Is there a way you guys can do something to get him to play better offensively?
They're pushing him out, and when he's 10 or 15 feet out, he can't get by them. They're playing him physical, perfectly legally, and he gets stuck and can't get to where he can score. At the end, he got 2 offensive rebound baskets and a layup. So he really had like 4 points probably in the game until the game was over. But his points at the end were just, they're 20 up. They're not going to play the same kind of defense in that point. But he's getting pushed out, and we've got to try to get him the ball a little close to the basket. It's hard against good defensive teams to get your center of the ball close to the basket. Good defensive teams push you out, Virginia and Clemson and Duke. And you're not going to get there. You're not going to get layups. And, he's developing a jump shot, but it's not there yet. And he has trouble going from 10 or 12 feet away from the basket. But again, it's not just him. We need to score at the forward position. We need to be a little better at the forward position. You can't ask our guards to do much more than what they're doing. But we have to find points in the forward position a little bit. But our defense has got to get it's all 5 guys. It's really not one guy. A couple times it was a forward. A couple times the guards let the guys go by. One time we didn't get back all the way, and they got an open 3 in the corner. Our guards really didn't get back. But it's a little bit of everybody. Jesse hasn't played as well defensively as he had been. It's not one guy. It's a team thing. Defense is always a team effort. It's not one guy or two. It's whether you're playing man-to-man or zone, doesn't matter. It's 5 guys, and we're not playing good enough defense, and that's something we have to do better. Pittsburgh's just as good. They had us 20 points down here. They're a very good offensive team, and they'll be very difficult on Saturday.
Quadier was your first guy off the bench, Coach. What went into that, and how do you get more scoring out of the forward position?
Well, that was what we were trying to get, somebody that could also drive, get to the basket. He's been good in practice. He's been able to get to the basket. It wasn't as successful last night. He hasn't played a lot. He made a couple rotation mistakes in the zone that gave up threes. But it was just a matter of, we didn't score at that position in the last game. So we're thinking, can we get something more from him? And he made a nice drive, but it didn't really, overall, it didn't work, bottom line.
You touched on Pittsburgh. When you faced them back in December, I don't think we all knew just how good Pittsburgh was. And here they are at the top of the conference. What stands out to you? What impresses you about the Panthers?
Well, they shoot it well. They're defensively very good. They can put the ball on the floor and make plays. 5 guys that are 23 or 24 years old, and 5th-year guys, 4th year or 5th. I think most of them are 5th-year guys. And they play with a lot of experience and a lot of ability. They had us 20 down. The only reason the game was close is our press worked, and our press is not very good right now. We're a little tired. Pressing takes a lot out of you, and we're just not able to bring that same defensive pressure that we did early in the year. We obviously can't let them get out like that, but they're very good. They shoot it. They handle the ball well. They're smart. Typical veteran team.
Coach, one last one for you. I feel like I asked you this last year too, but you hear the calls we're getting, and you see social media, or at least I think you do. I don't know. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I don't.
But what do you say to the fans that are frustrated right now with the way the program's going?
Well, we're all frustrated. I'm frustrated too. We knew this was a young team. Everybody knew in the beginning of the year this team would struggle. I think all the predictors predicted 17 wins for this team average, right?
Yeah.
Well, what do we have?
You're 1 short right now.
Yeah, well, that doesn't mean I'm satisfied with getting to 16 or 17, but that's what everybody thought we would do. We have a young team. I don't think there's a big surprise that this would be a bit of a struggle. I think they played well. I think we've won some tough games against some good teams. It's tough to win at Boston College. Boston College beat Virginia, Virginia Tech, Notre Dame, somebody else up there. I mean, they're tough to beat up there. We won. We've won some good games. I'd like to be a little better. We had a chance to squeeze out North Carolina or Virginia, and we didn't. Miami, we didn't, but we squeezed out some other games. But the bottom line is we're not happy with where we are. We've had back-to-back years before where we were in the NIT or not, and we expected this with this team this year. And, these guys are all getting better. But in today's basketball world, you have no idea who's coming back. You could have everybody back. You could lose 2, 3, or 4 guys, and the experience that they're getting wouldn't help us next year. But this was always going to be a tough year. I'm not surprised. I think we could have done a little better, but coaches always think that. As do fans, rightfully so. Our fans have been great. They've supported us all year. People make a lot about attendance. We're like in the top 3 or 4 teams in the country in attendance again. So, we're disappointed. Yeah, we're all disappointed. But I think everybody that looked at the season knew this would be a young team that would struggle up and down a little bit, and that's been the case.
Do you have a feel for who's coming back, or is that a conversation for after the season?
Nobody has any ideas. I mean, there's guys that will test the water. There's guys that will think about transferring because you can. We've had 7 or 8 people contact us already about transferring here. That's the reality of what is going on. That's college basketball. So, I think we have guys that should stay that are good players that can get better, but you just never know how people are going to react at the end of the year and what they're going to see as the possibilities for their future.
Yeah. All right. Well, 3 games left in the regular season, then on to the ACC tournament. Coach, we appreciate the time. We'll talk to you next week.
Absolutely.
All right. Head coach Jim Boeheim, brought to you every week by Oswego County Mutual. And with that, we will hit a timeout here. Went a little bit long there, obviously, but phone lines open the rest of the way if you want to check in. 315-437-7644. We're back after this on ESPN Radio.